speaker is called Lucille, and her speech is entitled "The Things I Learned on My Path to Passion and Purpose." Interesting title, Lucille. I'm liking it. Okay, so who is Lucille? Lucille is a business and career coach who specialises in helping professionals working in corporate environments to find passion and purpose in their professional lives. She does this by helping them move from a career where they feel stuck and unhappy and define a new career path that ignites them and makes them feel fulfilled. She also helps them to start a business whilst working their 9 to 5 so that they can gain more freedom and financial independence, all while saving them time and unnecessary stress, which I think a lot of us probably know what it feels like. So please put your hands together for our next UK tour speaker, Lucille.
I really do believe that a life without purpose is no life at all. When I was in school, I wanted to be a criminal lawyer. I wanted to help people who had been wrongly accused of a crime that they hadn't committed, who needed help to rehabilitate themselves and just needed a second chance. So when I left school, I became a lawyer so that I could help those people. Unfortunately, I quickly realised that studying criminal law was a lot more exciting than working in it. I find myself in a situation where I was being called to the police station at 3 a.m. in the morning to be confronted by an ungrateful client who thought that they knew more than I did, really unfriendly and helpful police officers who I guess were upset that I was trying to undo their work. I also had colleagues who would bet on how long each of their clients would be sentenced to prison. So it was nothing like I imagined it to be. But then I was stuck. The thing that I wanted to do the most since I was a child was nothing like I thought it would be. So then what was I to do? So I decided the only thing I could do was to go to a different area of law. The problem was, like I said, I had no plan B. It was just the plan A, it was just criminal law. So I thought about the other areas of law that I wanted to work in, and I decided to move into personal injury. And I worked in that area for a few years, and I was promoted to a supervisor, and I was helping people to achieve their goals, which was great. It was amazing. I felt so fulfilled. Except I was bored. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't exciting. I wasn't inspired. If criminal law was my plan A and personal injury became my plan B, what was my plan C? I had nothing else no other area of law that I wanted to work in, so now what did I do? So I decided just to move out of law altogether and do something else. But what was that something else? I had no idea. So I did the only thing I could do. I went home and I went on to read the job search website, and I typed in the salary that I wanted and the location that I wanted to work in. Those were literally the only two things that I typed in because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was looking for inspiration. But thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs came up, and I was so overwhelmed. I found myself going to work every single day, watching the clock, waiting for 5 o'clock to come, going home and searching through those thousands and thousands of job results and getting nowhere. I started to get depressed. You spend the majority of your time in work, and most of my time is spent being unhappy and just unfulfilled. So I decided I needed to change. Something had to change. I wasn't going to live my life this way. So I decided to ask myself some questions. What did I like about what I was doing? Why did I like it? I liked managing people. Why? Because I liked helping them to reach their goals. And then I realised, actually, I could just be a manager. I didn't need to work in a law firm to be a manager. So I then went back to the job search, but this time I typed the word manager into the search results as well. And far less results came up. And I found a job, which was great. So now I was managing people, I was leading them, I was setting goals for them, I was helping them to achieve what they really wanted to achieve. But something was still missing. In 2015, my granddad passed away. So my dad and I flew to Florida to go to the funeral. And during the celebration of his life, they talked about all of the amazing things that he had done, the people he had helped, how he would mentor people at his local church, how he would visit the children's hospital and spend time with the sick children. And it made me wonder, what would people say about me at my funeral? That she settled for a career where she wasn't really happy? I wanted more than that. I wanted to leave a legacy. So again, I decided I needed to do a change. But this time, I wasn't looking for a job. I was looking for fulfillment. And so I went to Google and I found a mentorship program where you would go to underperforming schools and you would help children who hadn't yet realized their full potential to achieve that potential. And it was really good. And I wanted more. So I went back to Google and I found a 2-day coaching training day. And it was in Birmingham and it was free. And as I went along, throughout the 2 days, you're coaching. And as I was coaching, I realized that throughout my 8-year career as a manager, I had been coaching. I just hadn't realized that that's what I was doing. I just hadn't put a name to it. So I signed up for the full program. On one of the training days, the tutor asked us, "What is your life's purpose?" And I looked around and was wondering if everybody else was as stuck as I was and confused, because I'd never thought about it. And if I ask you, what's your life's purpose, would you be able to answer? Do you know it? But as I thought about it, I realised that my purpose was to help other people to achieve their purpose, to help them to achieve their goals. And that the reason that I was unhappy in my previous roles was because I'd strayed too far from that purpose. See, we all are entitled to be happy, to live a life that fulfills us. The problem is that we struggle getting to that point, finding what that point of fulfillment is, finding what it is that makes us happy. And that's where I come in. See, I help people who are stuck, who are unhappy, who want more, who know they deserve more from their professional lives. And I help them to be really clear about what it is they want to achieve and then develop a plan to help them to get to that place. Because everybody deserves to be happy. I said earlier that a life with no purpose is no life at all. But it doesn't have to be that way. You've got a choice. You've got two options. One, do nothing. Stay as you are, being unhappy, never achieving your full potential. Or two, you can take action. There's a piece of paper on your chairs and there's some over there as well. If you're ready to take action and you want to make a difference in your life, just put your name and email address on this form and I'll contact you to arrange a free consultation. Because I don't want anybody else to be stuck like I was stuck, to be frustrated like I was frustrated, and stressed and unhappy. You have a choice. You can do something about it. And I really hope you decide to take action. Thank you.